And then you're going to add your mascara and you're done. So let's just keep going. We're going to add the mascara and then we'll have an overall completed look. See, I don't just squeeze it and be done. My lashes are not curly at all, so I usually hold it for a good few seconds. When I was younger, I used to hold it for a good few minutes. I just don't have time for that now. Okay, so I'm using Maybelline, the Rocket Volume Express mascara. I really am liking this, y'all. You can get this at your local drugstore or grocery store, and just because the grocery stores have figured out, hey, the makeup community on YouTube is driving product. Okay, so swirl around like that inside, not this way that takes air down in there and it dries it out. Just swirl it around and it gets more product on it. And then tip out the end of your lashes. Just go over the tips. See how I just literally went over the tips. Do that both directions. Especially on the outer lash. And then all the way over in the inner lash. Going towards the nose and going towards the ear. Now you can rake it through from the root all the way to the root. And you can do a little bit of a wiggle if you want. What does the wiggle do? It causes the lash to seep down into these little teeth. And what that does is it means it will coat the lash on either side a little bit better. The more you run it through the comb, the more it coats it. The more you coat it, especially with the waterproof, the more coverage you're going to get, and therefore the longer it's going to look. Here, we're doing a wiggle, wiggle, down. Wiggle, wiggle, back and forth, down. Wiggle, wiggle, down. And what's that doing? That's the same thing. You're getting right at the root.
That's like a dance.
It is. Wiggle, wiggle, down. Wiggle, wiggle, down.
Wiggle, wiggle, down. Hey, baby. Wiggle, wiggle, down.
Wiggle, 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 down. Wiggle, wiggle, down. Wiggle, wiggle, down. All right, that is going to be the Beth Buchanan makeup song. We'll have to make a makeup song, y'all. Okay, so that's on first pass. That's the look for first pass. Now, what we're going to do is do the same thing on the other side. Now, while we're over here, obviously the eye before is drying a little, and that's good. And since it's waterproof, it's drying fairly quickly, and that's good. But you don't want to take too long, because once it starts drying too much, it gets crusty. And then it's harder to get through the lash without starting to have little pieces fall. And, you know, that's what we call crumbs. And you don't want crumbs on your cheeks falling off all day, because it dried out. Okay. Inner lashes towards the nose. Then straight up. In the middle. A little bit more to the out, and then over here in the outer lash, you're pointing towards the ear. Then wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle down, down, a wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle down, down. When y'all do your makeup from now on, you have to say that wiggle, wiggle down, down, wiggle, wiggle down, down. Okay. All right, we're gonna be famous for a song. Will it be considered a YouTube song or an iTunes song? That's what we don't know. What would it be?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are going back over here. We have loaded this back up. And believe it or not, you're going to tip it out again. Why? Because it's going to really thicken up the tip ends, which makes it look longer. Now, at first, it does look very goopy. Some of you love that look. Leave it. But for the other, bleh, 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 bleh. For those of you who don't like that, you're going to come through that from the root out and just really get any of the little goops off. But tip the outer area again. Whoops, I did a boo-boo. Luckily, I can use my finger and go straight down to my black towel. That's why it's so good to have one there. And then make sure again that you point, just kind of pull those inner lashes apart a little bit with the tip end. This does have a little bit of a tip in prongs to it. Now, this is where you're going to be different. You're going to actually squint and tip the ends of your lashes. And this gives that look. You already got good coverage on them. Tip the ends, and then you're going to, with the tip, you're going to go down this way, straight up and down like this. Watch. And what you're doing is you're coating almost every little lash in there. And it just makes your lower lashes, if you find a goop, I have a little goop one there, use the brush to kind of get it off. Sometimes you'll have to come up from underneath to get it off. That's okay too. And it gives just a beautiful effect. And the more times you do this, because it's in this drying state right now, the more times you do this right now on this second face, the thicker and longer your lashes are going to look. Whoops. What you don't want to do is have a little chunk on the end and then a skinny middle. So make sure you get it all. And that is a very nicely done eye right there. Lots of mascara on the eye, very dressed up looking. So now you're coming over here. You can't take too long. This is a process where you can't stop and do something else. So I've already tipped out these ends, and look how just goopy that is. Just really gooped up. Some people love that. There's a mascara out there just for that, by the way, I've noticed. To make it look really thick and goopy. I call it goopy. And so now I'm going to comb through those edges. Sometimes you have to actually close your eye like this, watch. Because otherwise, since they're so curled, it may hit this back area. Now mine are looking a little funny because